Welcome back, everyone. So, to start this episode of the Sprinter project, I'm just gonna do a quick unboxing of this new Sagola I've just got. Because, yeah, it's not every day you buy yourself a new £800 spray gun or whatever that converts to in US dollars or wherever you're from in the world. It cost me that in British sterling. So, yeah, quite an expensive bit of kit, but again, when you're using that every day, it's got to be reliable, it's got to be good. So that's my old Sagola there, just non-digital. That's more of a commercial gun. I got that as a dedicated clear coat gun 5 years ago now. That gun is pushing on for 5 years old. That one in my hand there. So again, still an absolute workhorse of a gun. Still mint gun. Sprays mint. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, the only reason I've gone for a new gun this time is because this is going to be my base and clear gun for the actual paint scheme that we're running. So yeah, that's the main reason for that. I'm sick and tired of putting seals in my Developers gun. Again, I love that gun. That's been another workhorse of a gun for however many years now. Brilliant gun. I'm just sick of replacing seals in it. Sagolas are a sealless gun. There is no seals in them whatsoever. Spanish company, Spanish made gun, all manufactured in Barcelona, I'm pretty sure. Are just phenomenal. The build quality of these guns is just, yeah. I've used a lot of different guns, and these are just, you can throw anything at them and they just take it. They're just forgiving. You can go to that gun every day and just know it's going to perform mint. As long as you clean it and look after it, providing you can't just leave lacquer in it and come in the next day and expect that to be good, because obviously it's not going to be. It's going to be solid in there. But yeah, that is a. I'm pretty blown away how that's got no air adjuster on the bottom. So every gun I've had has always had the air adjuster that I'm pointing to there. Because this has got a built-in regulator that adjusts your pressure, sets your pressure. It's built into the gun, so again, that's why it's quite expensive. I did opt to buy an additional air cap for this gun. Again, I bought the Clear Pro setup, so the gun come with the Clear Pro air cap, but I chose to buy the additional base colour cap for another £130. I think £20 of that was VAT. So again, that comes with the gun that's I'm screwing on there. That is for you to adjust the air inlet into the gun, which then will tell the regulator what pressure to set it to. So yeah, they include that with the gun, which is good. They don't con you and say, oh yeah, you've got to buy that as an extra. So I thought that was good as Sagola, because you get that with other brands where they just rip you off and say, oh no, you've got to pay an extra £100 for that. So I was quite happy with that. So I'm not going to use that cup for this gun. I'm going to be running this new gun on the new PPSs, the new Merca PPS system. So yeah, I've got a PPS adapter ready to go in my paint locker for that gun. So yeah, it's just a case of getting it out and setting it up, and yeah, we'll get that sorted. But for now, this is just going to go back in the locker. I was just giddy to have a look at it and see what was going on with it. But yeah, I'm just going to throw it back in the box, and then we'll get back to that when we paint the van. We'll get it set up. We'll probably dig a scrap panel out of the skip or something, out of the metal skip, and something a bit better than the old wing that's sat in the corner of the booth. And yeah, we'll just see how it paints. Just before we go committing to painting that Sprinter, don't want any don't want any mess ups or any unexpected worries, but we shouldn't get that, because again, I'm confident that Sagola sprays mint. Before I've even used it, I know that'll spray mint going off my old one. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, this is now we're gonna get the windscreen trims and the bonnet and stuff and the headliner out the cab and stuff now, because I've had confirmation that the windscreen boys can get round, whip that screen out for me pretty soon. So I'm gonna get the rest of my bits just taken off the shell of the van, and then we're away. Again, all my cardboard templates for me bonnet, my sliding door. No, this is my sliding door stuff actually. Yeah, because I needed to get this all boxed up from the night before. So yeah, this is probably going to seem a bit backwards because I've stripped a lot of my panels already, but I haven't fully finished it, if that makes sense. I've just been doing it in dribs and drabs, just as again, it's just a case of when I get time and when I get chance to do what. Um, doing the body work is more important. I'm stripping it as I go effectively. So yeah, now I'm in the cab taking these trims out. But you got to pop them speaker covers out first so you can release the windscreen, the A pillar trims. Um, I just take them out of the way for the windscreen boys. Makes their life a lot easier. So I'm gonna choose to take all the sun visors out either side and the headliner, mainly because I want to check for any rusting behind it. It's not a big job to take it out. What holds that headliner in are the four Torxes that hold the sun visor and the handles in. Again, don't be using a screw gun for them because they've got that much Loctite around them. They're tight to take out, so you'll just end up ripping the threads out of them. So yeah, always do them by hand with a ratchet or something. Don't ever do them with a gun. It's just not. I wouldn't recommend it anyway. If you care about what you're doing and stuff, I've seen people use guns, and yeah, it's not nice because there's that much Loctite in there. So if that grips and the screw gun or the drill, whatever you're using, hits the windscreen and you're not taking that windscreen out, you could potentially be breaking someone's windscreen there too. So always take them out by hand. I would advise. So yeah, again, I'm gonna get cardboard templates knocked up for them just because it's all easier because I'll forget what's gone where when I come to build this up, even though I've built many of them before. It's just so easy to forget. Um, Such basic simple stuff can confuse you so badly and it's so frustrating. It really is when it comes down to it. You think, how have I not noticed that? So yeah, again, it is awkward getting in there by hand to get them Torxes out, but you can't even get a screw gun up in there. But I've seen people try forcing them up in there, and it's not wise. I just use a ratchet. Use a ratchet. Do it the old school way. Make them hands work. So yeah, you've got two Torxes underneath where your sun visor actually clips to that. There's two like plastic covers. If you just pop them out with a trim tool, and then you can get access to them. Yeah, that roof line is going to want to start coming down in a minute. So I'm trying to fold that sun visor away with one hand, which wasn't ideal, and then take. You don't want them roof liners flexing or bending because they rip and they tear. They're a weird material, them. So you want to be careful how you take them out. Again, if you've ever taken one out, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you've got to take it down in one piece. You can't start bending it and twisting it. It's all got to move as one piece in one motion. If that makes sense to people. Yeah, because that can go very wrong, and I couldn't imagine how cheap they are to replace either. If you fully bent it and kinked it and twisted it, it wouldn't be pretty at all. So yeah, I'm gonna label them what side they're what. Just makes it easier when it comes back to fitting them up. Again, they can only go one way, but it's just easier to label stuff, especially stuff like that. Your sun visors, because again they are confusing because they're opposites. But yeah, I've just got a box for everything. Just so much easier. All the spare Merca boxes and paint cut boxes and stuff that are lying around the workshop, just digging them out from wherever I can find them. So yeah, I'm going to start stripping the bonnet now. Windscreen wipers, taking them off. I'm going to drop the motor back under the scuttle panel because I want to paint all around that properly. I'll talk people through how to take um, the washer jet plastic things out. You've got to get up and behind them to basically release them because they come out from behind. Like you've got to squeeze them from behind with a set of pinch nose pliers to release them from the front of the scuttle. They're quite awkward to take out. To be fair, they're easy enough when you know how to do them. Um, but yeah, it just makes for a better job. Again, I've seen people mask around them. It's just quicker. It's just better to take them out. It's harder to mask around them because they're that fiddly to mask. They're not an easy thing to mask by any means. Um, so yeah, it's just again, if you can strip it, strip it. If you can't, then you're masking it. It's one of them. It depends on the budget as well and what the customer wants. If they don't want to pay you to strip it, then you're not going to go to the extent of stripping a job. But as this is my own van, I don't care about time and stripping it. It makes the quality of the job so much better when you go to this extent of stripping a job like this. That's what people that know, they understand. Because again, it just means you can paint it properly how it was done in the factory. If you can get the gun round every edge of a panel and the back of a panel because you've taken it off, then happy days. Like a door or a bonnet, boot lid, tailgate, whatever you want to call it. More so your metal parts. Obviously, your bumpers aren't too important in that respect because they're not going to rust or corrode. But your metal panels, you want to make sure there's plenty of paint protection around them. You know, obviously your bumpers want to be painted well, but you know they're plastic; they're not going to rust or anything. So again, just dropping the windscreen, not the windscreen, the window wiper motor, dropping them in the back. They're on a 27mm nut on the front of the scuttle panel. So if you just crack that off, and then they've got like a stainless washer over two rubbers, and then again that just all drops into the back of the scuttle then, so it's easy enough to fish it back up in. Um, so yeah, I've just made a stupid mistake here. Started taking the bonnet prop off and realised I needed to strip most of the bonnet because I was waiting for someone to come and help me take the bonnet off again. This is after 5 o'clock, so there was no one round, but I knew the welder was coming in to start a night shift, so um, yeah, I was knew he was coming up, so I was pretty happy to get as much as I could off the bonnet while I was waiting for him. So starting with the vents and stuff. Again, they're so brittle to take out. On the other, so that one there, that's you can do that from the underneath. There's access for that, but the other side one, they've both got a Torx in the top of them. They've both got one Torx each to hold it to the bonnet from the top side of the bonnet. And then once you've undone them, the one that doesn't go to the airbox, that vent, oh, that's basically like a push from the side fit. It slides out from the side. It's a weird fit. It catches a lot of people out. I see people pulling at them and just break them in two, and I'm just like, oh, what have you done? But yeah, if you don't know, it is one of them things. You know, it's annoying if you don't know how to do it. So yeah, there's a welder. He's just turned up now, so he's gonna give me a hand getting this bonnet off. Just getting a trestle ready to go. Two 13mm nuts either side, and then yeah, that's lifted straight off. Again, there's no wires or anything going into this bonnet, no electrics, none of that. So yeah, nice and easy, not like some bonnets. So yeah, again, it's just easy to take that off with two people. Again, because the windscreen's coming out, it wouldn't have mattered if the windscreen would have got damaged and taking that off, but you just don't want to be damaging stuff. Or the bonnet, I don't want the bonnet to get damaged either. So yeah, them clips that hold that bonnet insulation down, they're like a one-time fit. They are coming out so brittly and just breaking. They're like they've got like a wouldn't say like it's an upside down V shape that holds them into the inside skin of the bonnet. And once you pull them back out, they basically disform, and you just don't get them back in. So that's that vent I'm talking about now. So that basically slides out from the side, whereas the other one didn't. They don't see how I'm pushing that to, yeah, pushing it to the other side of the bonnet to release it. They were a weird fit. Just admiring that sky out there. That was a really nice night. That was dark out. It was nice. Door was up. It wasn't cold. Yeah, watching the sun go down. That was nice. Grafting away on the tools. But yeah, this is skipping a bit ahead now. So I've forgot to take my sliding door top rail out. When I did strip all the sliding door off the van, I forgot to do the top rail. Just left it in. So you've got to go into the inside of the van, and there's 7 10mm nuts running along the top of that channel there, basically hiding behind that plastic cowling that sits up there. So yeah, just pop that cowling out of the way. All your wiring, loom and stuff will be hiding behind there for lights and stuff. And yeah, you're away once you get that rail off. That is on with some double-sided tape as well, so you will have to pull at the rail. So yeah, just watch for that. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.